whiz. Spin so fast, put you in a diz. Tilt and turn, slide the line. Attention, man, it's Wizzzer time. Piggyback, triple stack. Watch that Wizzzer come spinning back. Wizzzer, Wizzzer. Give me some room, move over, my friends. Reach 10,000 RPM. Wizzzer.
Wizzzer, each one sold separately from Matchbox.
Wizzzer.
Alright, hey guys, and welcome back, as this time I'm taking a look at one of the craziest tops of all time, the Wizzzer. Are you tired of boring tops that do nothing but sit and spin? Apparently Mattel was, but never fear, in 1969 Mattel released their latest invention, the Wizzzer. The Wizzzer is a mechanical top that is powered by an internal gyroscope that can reach over 10,000 RPMs, which allow it to perform some pretty amazing tricks without falling over. It can spin along a piece of string, you can stack them on top of each other, or even go through a maze with the tricky tray set. The Wizzzer sold well after being released until 1988, when the license was bought by Matchbox, who produced it until 1991, until Playtime, a division of Tyco, purchased it, and again until 1996, when it was purchased by Duncan, who still currently produces the tricky top with the funny name today.
Alright guys, now let's take a look at the Wizzzer model that I have here. Now the one that I have, this is the Mattel version, so this would have been before 1988. This would have been before the Wizzzer license was bought out by Matchbox and they started producing them. Now all of them will say like 1969, they have the 1969 copyright, because I don't believe this is one of the original ones like from the 70s. I have to guess this is probably like early 80s or very late 70s, but definitely not like one of the first ones from like 1969 or like the early 70s. So this is probably like a mid 80s one. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot that goes with it for like it to be able to do tricks and stuff like that. I don't have any of the mazes or the little tops or anything like that it can sit and spin on and do different tricks. But I do have a few things, you know, that I can do with it to show how it works. Now, how these all work is they have a gyroscope inside. These, at least the earlier ones, were very heavy, made out of really heavy metal. And so you go to spin that, and the gyroscope shifts with this little black piece of plastic on the top, and as it touches it with friction, it changes color. So the black portion stays on a different part of the wheel, and you get really a whole like rainbow of colors, like, you know, purples, two-tone colors, and I think, you know, blues, yellows, reds, oranges. Sounds like a Lucky Charms commercial here for a second, but yeah, I think that's really the most interesting thing that this does, is just the really cool colors that it produces. It reminds me of like a kaleidoscope or something like that. Now, I remember these growing up because I think my next door neighbor had one of these. I don't remember. I remember somebody that I went to school with, one of my friends, had one of these, and I definitely remember that goofy, wacky commercial. A lot of people probably don't remember this toy because it, you know, it doesn't stand out very much. It's just a silly little top. So it's one of those things where you know, you're more than likely to remember the commercial, but, you know, most people aren't going to remember this toy. It wasn't very significant. It was just, you know, a goofy little fad, kind of like how fidget spinners came around and stuff like that. And that's basically all this is like, you know, a fidget spinner that's a top, you know, in its time. But I do think that it's really neat. Kind of looks like a little light bulb. So let's go ahead and I'll show you what it can do, and you know, we'll see some of the different tricks that it can do. All right, so now let's see it in action. So there's not much to it. You just rev it up along any type of smooth surface with this little rubber tip there. And before we actually do anything, we'll really get it going, and you can see the color wheel spinning around. And like I said, as you shift it, it constantly changes. So now let's just do a basic little freewheel spin here. And so yeah, nothing, you know, too impressive. I mean, it looks more interesting when you're looking down at it because you can see the, you know, the colors going around and everything. but it does go for a pretty long time. And so one of the other things that you can do with it, you can get it to balance on a finger, but I can't really do that because that's pretty darn hard. I can get it to balance on my hand here. Let's see, let's give that one more shot. There we go, that's a little bit better. So that's kind of neat. That's why I said it's sort of like a fidget spinner in that regard. And then you can also take a piece of string, which you can barely see here, just this little piece of thread. And I think this is kind of cool. But I think there's a special kind of string you needed to really make this trick work. Let's get this going really good. And, try that one more time. This thing really goes out of control when it when it falls. You usually get it going longer than that. Let's keep trying that a couple more times. Oh, almost. Hang on. Well, I think that's about as good as I can do that because, I don't know, maybe let's try it one more time. Let's get another little knot in there and see if we can really get a good spin out of it. Yeah, there we go. So that's about as good as I'm going to be able to do with that. I think there may have been like a special type of string that came with like little Wizzzer tricks and, little tricks kit that came with it with the mazes and everything. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other different stuff you can do with it where like it can like ride along like the side of a cup or something. But that doesn't really work that well. I've tried doing that on stuff with things with edges and it just falls off. So I think it's really specific. You need to have those different mazes and toys and accessories that are designed to go with it. But I still think it's neat. It's definitely one of those things that, you just is really kind of iconic of its time. Just one of those weird toys that only could have came out in the late 70s or 80s, and I just thought it was neat to take a look at today. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed taking a look at this 1970s, 1980s Wizzzer toy made by Mattel / Matchbox. Hope you thought it was interesting, and I'll see you guys back here next time. Until then, take care.
Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and you can follow me at Facebook at King of Retro or Twitter at #8ByteBrian. See you next time.